So the POCO X8 Pro is yet another stunning mid-ranger boasting incredible value for money. Doesn't have quite as premium specs as the fresh POCO X8 Pro Max model, but you do get some bonus ultra horny Iron Man shenanigans. Because the POCO X8 Pro once again comes in a limited Iron Man edition. So I could only surmise that last year's POCO X7 Pro Iron Man edition was a runaway hit. Either that or Mr. POCO just has a massive raging stiffy for Tony Stark. Anyway, let's do a cracking unboxing of the POCO X8 Pro Iron Man edition, and then we'll magically leap forward through time a full week through the wonders of video editing. I'll have my SIM slipped inside the POCO X8 Pro that entire time to deliver my full review. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do subscribe, ding that notifications bell. Cheers! So first up, I do rather like the box, which is decked up like a snazzy briefcase. Remember briefcases? Your Uncle Spurt used to have a briefcase back in the day when I had a proper job. Used it to carry around my day whiskey and a spare change of pants. So how do you actually get this? Oh, you just pull it apart. That's easy. And inside we've got all kinds of Avengers type shenanigans. You got a bunch of schematical bollocks. You got the POCO X8 Pro Iron Man edition, of course. We've got a USB cable actually signed by Tony Stark. And you've also got a shiny mystery red box. And this contains a condom case to keep your POCO X8 Pro Iron Man edition safe from harm. Oh, it's got a lovely soft touch interior, decadent, decorated with Tony Stark's helmet, FNAR, and it just slides on top of your POCO phone like so. And you've even got yourself a Pokey SIM pin with the Marvel logo. Smashing stuff. But bugger all adapter in that box, so you will have to provide your own. Ooh, so welcome to the future. A few days later, had my SIM stuffed inside of the POCO X8 Pro, is what I reckon. So first up, I appreciate how the screen has actually shrunk a wee bit versus last year's POCO X7 Pro. It's now a 6.59 incher. And as you can see, reasonably skinny bezels surrounding that screen, so not too girthy. It's a bit more compact, a bit more hand-friendly. Of course, not quite as compact as some rivals, the likes of the Vivo X300 and the Xiaomi 17. 200 grams, still quite a hefty bugger. You've got the pleasingly scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass 7i up front. You've got a metal frame for a lovely premium vibe, and then flip it around back. It's a bit of your Iron Man blokey, or l'homme d'Iron, as the French call him. Disclaimer, they probably don't. Of course, they did the same thing last year, Iron Man Special Edition. Last year's was a bit more bright and bold. This year they've gone for a darker finish with a good bit of gold action. And it might not look quite as vibrant as before, but it'll certainly attract a fair few looks when you whip it out down the Greggs, grabbing your steak bake or whatever. And apparently the camera flash is supposed to mimic Iron Man's arc reactor, and that's his literally flashy man tit for any non-Marvel fans. And just like that POCO X8 Pro Max, you've once again got the dynamic RGB ring shenanigans. And this is fully customizable if you dive on into the backlight effects section of the settings. You can use those glowing rings as a jazzy disco notifications light for your calls and other app notifications, tweaking the color. And you can also get them to pulse in a hyperactive fashion if you're blasting through some games or just blasting a good bit of music. Got to admit, it would have been a bit cool if they'd integrated that into the Iron Man shenanigans somehow, had his eyes light up or his hands or something. But hey, what the f*** do I know? I'm just some soused up northerner who ended up reviewing tech somehow. And this phone is IP68 dust and water resistant, can get very mucky indeed, fully submerged in water, no worries. That's great to see at this sort of mid-range price. And as for the software, well, it's everyone's favourite, Xiaomi's own HyperOS. The latest version 3 on top of Android 16, thankfully, so all up to date. You don't get gypped like you did with those Redmi Note 15s. And according to my notes, it comes with 4 OS updates and Dick's years of security patching. I think I might have meant 6 there. I was probably just getting distracted by good old Iron Man. And the software side of things has been slightly Iron Manified for this version. So for instance, all of the icons of this Iron Man black and gold finish, which looks quite funky to be fair. I do quite like that. Got to admit, I was expecting to find a few Iron Man wallpapers in there, but none of the system papers seem to be particularly Iron Man-y. This is probably the closest you're going to get. But of course, you've got Xiaomi's AI dynamic wallpaper feature to the rescue, which can bring any still image to life with some funky animation. But not even any Iron Man notification alerts or anything where, you got Tony Stark saying, "You're right, mate, you got an email." Well, I suppose he's American, isn't he? So it'd be more like, "Hey, you got an email." I don't know why he suddenly turned into Rocky Balboa. Yeah, not much theming. You get like a funky Iron Man boot up noise when the phone wakes up. It's pretty good for scaring the shit out of grannies on the bus. But besides that, it is pretty much your standard HyperOS experience here, including, oh yes, heaps and heaps of crapware. You've got your AliExpresses, you've got your Temus, your LinkedIns, your Facebooks, you've got your booking.bloodycoms, which can bugger right off. As usual, you'll be harassed non-stop by notifications for all this bollocks as well until you silence all that and just uninstall everything. Anyway, if you are new to Xiaomi and POCO smartphones and HyperOS in general, I've spaffed out a full in-depth video on HyperOS 3, all the best bits, the wonky bits, all that. So have to go have a squint at that for more on the software side. But a couple of quick POCO X8 Pro specific points. First of all, there's bugger all eSIM support in here, which I was quite surprised by. I thought that Xiaomi would have chucked that in. So it's a dual physical SIM slot, that's all what you got. But better news on the storage front, because it's minimum 256 gigs, at least here in the UK. Can upgrade that to 512 gigs for a not substantial fee as well if you want to. But I'm just grateful that there's none of that 128 gigs bollockry, especially at this sort of more affordable mid-range price. And I've got no real complaints at all with the 6.59-inch AMOLED display. You've got yourself a 1.5K resolution, so those visuals pin sharp. And you've got crazy good contrast as well, lovely dark inky blacks and crispy whites. Full HDR10 and Dolby Vision support for impressively natural picture quality. And the colours aren't too poppy or vivid by default, but you can tweak them in the display settings to make them a bit richer if you fancy. This panel certainly gets pleasingly bright when you're using it outdoors, even on, yes, a sunshiny day here in the UK. The refresh rate scales from 60 to 120 Hz, pretty standard, again at this sort of mid-range price point. And you got 3840 Hz PWM dimming, which is great news if you are sensitive to OLED flicker, plus plenty of eye comfort shenanigans for all that late night doom scrolling. As for the stereo speaker setup, well, you don't have that slightly ridiculous 400% volume mode of the Pro Max, but I prefer the maxed out volume here on the POCO X8 Pro, because it doesn't just spaff out a hideous ear-smashing mess of horror. And don't get me wrong, it's still proper loud as well, perfect for just enjoying a bit of YouTube or Netflix, even when you're outdoors somewhere rather noisy. I was actually surprised by how well balanced the sound was as well, considering there's no dedicated top-mounted speaker, it's just blasting audio out of that earpiece speaker basically. You've still got a reasonably decent stereo effect. You've got Bluetooth 6 streaming support on here. I've had bugger all issues streaming to various speakers and headphones. And solid audio support on here as well. You got support for Dolby Atmos, you got high-res audio streaming, the works. As for the performance, well, that comes courtesy of MediaTek's Dimensity 8500 Ultra. Pretty beefy wee bugger. It is a step down obviously from the flagship 9500, but an upgrade over last year's 8400 Ultra, which was stashed in that POCO X7 Pro Iron Man edition. And it's backed in here by 12 gigs of RAM. Everyday running, perfectly smooth, although zipping around HyperOS, occasionally a wee bit juddery. I think that's more down to the fact that the launcher is quite a heavy bugger. And it's good news for gamers as well, because even intensive open world shenanigans like Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, and a host of other titles where girls in skimpy skirts go and beat on horrible gribbly things, it all runs rather nicely indeed. Wuthering Waves, for instance, can merrily be played on the maxed out visuals at 60 frames per second, with only occasional momentary drops in that frame rate. Certainly very impressive performance, again at this sort of price point. You've even got a good bit of liquid cool text stuffed in here as well, so the phone gets a wee bit warm when you put it under pressure, but I didn't see any throttling. And you do have a dedicated gaming mode to give the performance a bit of a kick up the arse when it's needed. You've got HDR upscaling, all kinds of clever shenanigans stuffed in there. No issues to report on the connectivity front. You've got Wi-Fi 6 streaming on here, and I had bugger all issues with the mobile connections as well when I was out and about. Could happily stream video, music, upload, all that kind of stuff. One of the big downgrades for the POCO X8 Pro versus the Pro Max is the battery capacity. You don't get any ridiculous 8,500 mAh shenanigans here. Instead, it's a considerably more sedate 6,500 mAh, which, let's face it, is still better than quite a lot of flagship smartphones these days, and a slight increase over the 6,000 mAh battery of the old POCO X7 Pro. That said though, I did find the battery life was merely fine here on the POCO X8 Pro. Gotta say, like on the longest, most intense days, I didn't quite manage to completely drain this battery in a single sitting, but I did get it deep into that power saver mode on a couple of occasions, down into single digits battery. That is quite a full-on day, to be fair. We're talking 6 or 7 hours of screen on time, including about half an hour of video chatting, a couple of hours of Android Auto action, including full navigation in Google Maps, a bit of camera play, all that kind of stuff. And if you are gaming non-stop on Wuthering Waves, for instance, with the maxed out graphic settings and that performance mode switched on, etc., you can just about scrape 4 hours of action on a 100% charge, which is a pretty decent effort. Let's say slightly above average. But yeah, if you're going to be going balls to the wall, shooting loads of 4K video, all that kind of stuff, you might want to consider an upgrade to that Pro Max. Well, the good news is though, if you do need to juice up the POCO X8 Pro in a jiffy, well, no worries, you've got 100 watt wired charging support. You can also use it as a kind of makeshift power bank if you need to. You've got 27 watt reverse wired charging. Made a bit more sense with the POCO X8 Pro Max and that enormous battery, however, and there is sod all support for wireless charging. And how's about kiddies? We round up this lovely wee POCO X8 Pro review with a bit of a squint at that there camera tech. And it is quite a basic camera arrangement here. It appears to be the exact same hardware stuffed into last year's POCO X7 Pro. And so what you've got yourself here is a 50 megapixel main shooter using Sony's IMX882 sensor and a basic 8 megapixel ultra wide, and that's it. And it's Xiaomi's usual pretty dense camera app on here, so plenty of features and modes to play around with. And yes, you do have a dedicated Pro mode as well, so you can mess around with the likes of the ISO levels, the white balance. You can boost up the resolution to 50 meg if you want to, and capture a bit of raw imagery. Alternatively, just leave it on the dedicated photo mode, and I found the quality was perfectly fine, spaffed out here for everyday snaps. The POCO X8 Pro does seem to saturate photos a wee bit more than the Pro Max, pumping out overly bright iPhone-esque imagery, while occasionally the processing makes things a bit crunchy, but still generally fine for just viewing on a tablet or a laptop screen. And I found that my ambient snaps came out better than expected. Plenty of fine detail packed in there, no obvious noise, and reasonably natural tones too. But Uncle Spurt's top tip, if you're going to be snapping kids, cats, anything that's actually alive, well, you'll definitely want to dive into the camera settings, go to the photo section and turn on motion track and focus. This just ensures that pics of your offspring and your fuzzy buddies come out nice and sharp and in focus. You've also got an action mode, which is just a tap away if they won't bloody well keep still. It's generally dependable enough for your portrait snaps, etc., as long as the lighting isn't bollocks. And sadly, unlike the Nothing Phone 4a, there's bugger all telephoto action here, but you can digitally zoom in when needed. You can keep on zooming up to the 10 times level by pinching in, and as long as you don't go too nuts, you can still expect a reasonably sharp photo. Again, as long as the lighting isn't cack. Now with that motion track and focus switched on, you do max out at 4K resolution video at 30 frames per second. You can swap it to 60 frames per second if you like, but that will disable the motion track and focus, which ain't ideal if you are, again, shooting video of anything that's alive. But whether I was shooting my furry tripod friends here, or just a general bit of London landscape action, I was generally pleased with the crispy visuals, as well as the clarity of that audio as well, not too perturbed by a bit of gusty wind shenanigans. And then last up, around the front end of the POCO X8 Pro, you've got yourself a 20 meg selfie camera. Sadly, this maxes out at 1080p Full HD resolution. There is bugger all support for 4K Ultra HD. You can boost the frame rate to 60 frames per second if you like. The visuals are, they're absolutely fine. Even in a more ambient environment, they don't get too noisy and grainy and horrible, I guess is the word I was possibly going for there. The audio clarity is absolutely fine as well, just using the built-in mic, so again, no problems using this for video chatting, etc. And there you have it, my lovelies. That in a delicious wee nutshell is Xiaomi's fresh new POCO X8 Pro Iron Man Edition. And sure, it absolutely lacks the wow factor of the POCO X8 Pro Max, but it is solid value for money at this more affordable mid-range price point. Excellent performance in particular, so if you're after a gaming smartphone on a budget, well, this could certainly do the job. Camera's absolutely fine for your everyday shenanigans, battery life's alright. Overall, just a solid bit of hardware, though as usual, not everyone will get on with good old HyperOS. One of the POCO X8 Pro's biggest rivals right now is undoubtedly the Nothing Phone 4a, which I recently reviewed and again really enjoyed. I definitely prefer the software experience, that lovely clean Nothing OS vibe. Battery's not as big, but the battery life is just as dependable, and the camera tech is bolstered by an actual telephoto shooter as well. Although the performance isn't quite as strong, so certainly gamers might be more swayed by the POCO. But anyway, go check out my update to the best mid-range smartphones right now, which I have just updated yesterday. I'm going to try and actually edit that and get it put live, probably shortly after this video. Anyway, I'm just blathering on now. It'd be great to hear your thoughts on the POCO X8 Pro and Iron Man in general. Is anyone still bothered about Iron Man? And please do box subscribe, ding that notifications bell down below, and have yourselves a really wonderful rest of the week. Cheers, everybody. Love you.